Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tabor Talk. It's cold and windy here. It's probably in the 30s. It's Monday, April 3rd, but you know how it is. We're in the Catskills. So, getting right into this, I'm a little behind on the Joe Rogan podcast. People who follow me know that I usually do a review for almost every Joe Rogan podcast. Let's see. I just finished 1962 Eddie Huang here, and I got to tell you, I didn't expect much from him. I think this guy. I think he was with Vice, and he's a chef. I just wanted to get this right here. It's Eddie Huang is an American author, chef, restaurateur, food personality, producer, and former attorney. I didn't know he was an attorney. He was co-owner of Bayo House, a Gua Bao restaurant in the East Village of Lower Manhattan. Huang previously hosted Huang's World for Viceland. So yes, I was right. So I wasn't sure. I think he's been on Rogan once before. I kind of remember him, but whatever. But I got to tell you, 3-hour podcast. It was great. Like, I really love this guy. He's very easy to get along with, very intelligent, has some really interesting stories, and funny ones too. Like, he was talking about his girlfriend, actually his wife now. He just recently got married, where she had an accident in the kitchen. She actually, as he said, took a shit in the kitchen, and it's funny. It's hilarious. He gets into it like, oh my God, like, you really love someone where you have to pick up a load in your kitchen and it's your beautiful wife and all that funny stuff, right? Kind of juvenile, but funny nonetheless. And they talked about a lot of things, a lot of very important issues, like the gun issue, the recent gun shooting, and actually push back against Joe. Like, Joe's talking about, like, maybe we should have armed guards, securities in every school. Like, I don't know if that's possible or practical. Like, what are the costs? Must be billions, right? I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not sure if it's practical. I'm actually even open to it. Like, we got to stop this. And, like, I don't know. Like, and then he goes, no, Joe, listen. Just because, let's just say, hypothetically, we fund this, there are guards in every school, you think it's going to stop the shooters? They're just going to go to the supermarket, or your kid's gymnastics class, or Little League. Like, people don't think about that stuff. You're not going to stop them. They're nuts. So, gun availability. So he says, like, let's have a rational conversation. Like, of course, I'm a Second Amendment guy. We all are, right? But the thing is, we're talking about, it's just really common sense. As I've always said, these assault weapons, right? Second Amendment, not against hunting, not against illegal carry, 100%. It's these assault weapons which are causing all these problems. So as I said in all my other videos, Joe always says we don't have a gun problem. Like, yes, we do. But anyway, we don't have a gun problem. We have a mental health problem. Like, no, dude, both. We have a massive gun problem. We need more regulation on assault weapons, right? And we have a mental health problem. So anyway, we have to have this conversation. And the thought of, like, hey, Second Amendment, like, to protect yourself against the militia, protecting against the government. And he goes, like, dude, watch Waco, which is now streaming on, I think it was on Showtime initially. It's now streaming on Netflix. Like, you have no fucking shot against the U.S. military. $1 trillion, right? You're going to go up against the U.S. military with nuclear weapons? Dude, you have no fucking shot. That whole argument is absurd. Absolutely absurd. So, anyway, Eddie Huang, there he is. Really great guy. I really liked him. And they didn't talk about so much about cooking and all that shit. I'm not really interested. Like, there are a lot of things that Joe talks about. I listen to all of them anyway. But the things I'm not really interested in are the hunting stuff. There's a ton of it. Food. I'm not a food guy. I'm not a foodie. I'm not interested in that stuff. Cars. I'm not interested in cars. Pool. Not interested. All the other stuff, like, I'm an MMA guy. Like, that's how I got into, initially kind of got into Joe. I have an MMA, it's a long story, but used to train with Matt Serra and Joe Rogan. It's a long story, another video on that. So anyway, And then we go to this guy. The next, I just started this one. Let me just bring this up here. This guy, here he is, Michael. And let me get his full name because it's long. It's Michael Shellenberger. He's been on before. He has a book out called San Francisco. Actually, pretty good podcast. But he is absolutely biased here. This whole thing with the Twitter files, like I guess it's he and Matt Taibbi and Barry Weiss, and just starting. I'm like 8 minutes in, and already it's all this bullshit. Like, no, let me just read some of the comments here. He goes, this dude said there was no Russian interference in the 2016 election, and when Joe corrected him and said, there definitely were troll farms, and then he says, just because 146 million Americans had Russian misinformation in their feed does not mean all 146 million Americans actually saw it. Ridiculous shit like this. And then he says, he talks about all these Facebook ads that were released by the government. And Joe buys this hook, line, and sinker. It's just, and here's another thing, like, who is this fucking slob? Like, he's obviously very biased. By the way, you have to see the Matt Taibbi thing. Here's what's going on here, and it's very upsetting. Matt Taibbi, well, guys that I used to like and respect, like Matt Taibbi and Russell Brand, they're all sort of going where the money is. All they are grifters. They're fucking grifters through and through, and it's very sad. Like, the left has all of these heavy hitters, really intelligent, very educated guys. A guy like Russell Brand, how is he going to stand out? Where you go to the other side, where generally speaking, they're not as smart, they're not as educated. Just look at the data. I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but take a look at the data, right? If you want to be very simple, left, smart and educated, right, dumb and uneducated, high school graduates, if that. Anyway, so when I finish this, I'll do another one on this Michael Shellenberger. So this guy's kind of pissing me off. By the way, back to the Eddie Huang thing. Joe repeats himself over and over. He goes, I am a left wing. I'm a progressive. 90% of the things, policies, I'm on the left. I'm a liberal. Like, the only thing is perhaps maybe Second Amendment. Like, Joe, bullshit, man. Are you fucking kidding me? Not only you're right, you're probably hard right. Like, that is so fucking ridiculous. I used to think it was unfair to call Joe a shill, but come on. The guy is right wing. All he does is attack the left. You listen to that podcast, he goes after everyone on the left. Nancy Pelosi and Biden, of course, Gavin Newsom, on and on, all CNN, but never touches Trump or fucking his boy Tucker Carlson. Here's another thing that kind of pisses me off. Like, I'm a left-wing guy, but I believe in discipline. Like suggesting that right-wingers are disciplined and left-wingers are not. Like I said, look at the data. Most people on the left are more educated, college degrees, right-wing not. Like, where's the discipline there? Like, perhaps like lifting weights, is that how you're gauging this? It takes more discipline to get a college degree than fucking going to the gym and lifting weights. And the whole thing's stupid anyway. What, liberals don't work out? I work out. I'm a left-wing guy. I'm into MMA. I work out fucking 7 days a week. The whole thing is dumb. All right. Enough of my little rant here. More to come. Break down more of an analysis of the Shellenberger guy. And there you go. Good friends, good books, and a sleepy conscience. Peace, love, and understanding here on Taper. Joe, you're a right-wing guy. Accept it. We all know it. You're right-wing. You can do what you want. It's your show.